growing up time, children was allowed to drink around Christmas time. Yeah, Christmas time, parents used to get children a little drink. Children used to get drunk around Christmas. So nobody introduced me, but as I start to grow, maybe I pick it up that habit for myself. But when I just started, it was nice. It was a nice feeling. I used to drink to go to parties and have fun. I was having a lot of fun. But did not know later on down the line that alcohol would have the better of me. Well, most time we used to be on the beach, you know. Sautés and the fishermen right around, yard bars, and the bay was a real liming spot. So the drink was easy access to the drink. It took me like a while to figure out the impact I used to get. I think my first experience with alcohol was, I think, at the age of 23. And I think by that time I should have make a decision to stop. My life changed. I became very violent. I'm not listening to nobody. I don't take nobody advice, and it's only one thing, is just drink and junk and misbehave and disrespect and them kind of behavior. The most embarrassing thing, I don't think it's family alone, you know. I think the whole committee, I was total embarrassment to everybody. Believe me. I was very disrespectful to everybody. When I'm normal, I'm okay, but once I'm drunk, is accosting everybody, even though you're good to me. I remember people speak to me a lot on that, but then it's like he passed in one ear and he go down the other. Because at the time, I didn't know that I was an alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was suffering with a sickness I couldn't control.
You did mention sometime before an experience in the pasture.
There was two activities in that pasture for the day. First was a football match, and then a calypso show the night.
Okay.
So I spent the whole day inside that pasture with half naked with a piece of old pants on me for the whole day. So I watched the football for free, and I still stay for the show. Police tried to touch me because nobody couldn't want to touch me because I was very filthy. So nobody decided to touch me. So I stayed inside until the show started. And I cannot remember when I leave the show, then all I know the morning when I recover. I was in a very dangerous area. When I recover from there, I speak to myself. I see, first I look at the lagoon and I look at the sea. And I said, if the lagoon had burst, I might have washed out in the sea. So then my life would have been gone there. And I get up from there and I walk lower down the beach. I spend a couple hours down there concentrating and say, you know what, I need some help. I need to get help. And I'm going to make up my mind to go to Carlton House. I see people come from there, but they still continue drinking, but I never know what it was like.
At that point, when you decided, I am going to Carlton Home, I need to make that change, who did you turn to for that help?
Yes, well, as I tell you, when I finished from the bay, I come back up and I went by a good friend of mine, called Mistress Rosalind Williams. She was a fish vendor. And I went to her and I tell her, I say, the next day was Tuesday, I remember. I say, I want to go in Carlton House tomorrow, you know. I tell with this wrong. When I started with a group, they say either group 1 because I just come. Well, for me, as the first group where I was as a beginner group, well, they suggested to me 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. Well, I took the program for 2 months, you know. Something happened to me at night, and the next day they told me that it was because the body was not consuming the alcohol.
Okay.
It gave me this kind of behavior. Because all of a sudden at night I get angry with everybody and I want to go home. I pack my bag and I tell the nurse I want to go, and I was getting in a real kind of, and I think her name was Nurse Scott. And she came to me and she told me, she said, if I put you in a room for the night, because most times they don't put people to sleep for themselves alone. But she said, if I put you in a room for the night and when I come in the morning, and I'm going to have a talk, and then you will go. I said, no problem. So she tell the people in charge that she put me in that room there for the night, and when she come in the morning, she going to. And when she came in the morning, and she spoke to me, she said, you want to go? I said, no, I changed my mind. And she said to me, if I'd let you go yesterday, the first shop you met, you know what happened to you? You would have been a drunkard. And she telling me it was the body was...
Like a kind of withdrawal.
Withdrawal, it was out of the system. So like the body was not getting the alcohol, so that create that kind of impact, like people are fed up with everybody. That was the only. Well, some people also have different symptoms.
And that only happened once.
Once.
And they were very supportive because they expected that
That
sort
was,
of behavior.
yeah, they knew about it. Like I should have been educated me on it. So they tell me that what caused me. And that was the only time I ever felt that way.
Okay.
Well, the promise I made to myself when I reached back out there that I won't drink again. But I didn't make it on a long term. I make it at one day at a time. So every day I promised myself I won't have a drink for today. So only just for today. And it's 21 years now, I'm still doing it, not today.
21 years. That's admirable, Mr. Borde.
Yeah.
So tell us what happened after that whole Carlton Home, when you visited here and you went back to the community. What happened after that?
Well, at least the life was changed. I went back, I started working as a security.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got the opportunity to go in Canada.
Okay.
So I think it was in 2001, I migrated to Canada for a couple years.
And were you tempted in that different environment? What was that like for you?
No, I was not tempted because I still was interested in the program.
Okay.
And I was able to get somebody to get me in touch with the program.
Oh, so when you went to Canada, you went back into that same program?
Yeah.
Just for that extra help, that extra strength?
Yeah, that's for that. The program is something like that. We tell you keep coming back. Even though you come out and you have somebody, you could always come back and share your experience so that you can give a help to somebody that is struggling.
Antillean as a partner in this initiative to re-establish the Carlton Home is one that we have been proud to be part of since 2018. As a benefactor, we are part of that top tier of contributors to the rehabilitation of the Carlton Home, which I believe is vital for our society. It's important that we know that a better lifestyle involves physical, mental, and emotional health. Now, your financial wealth and your financial health are synonymous with that of the Pump It Up brand, is that we encourage people to live well financially through living lifestyles that are healthier. The Carlton Home, which is an integral part of our society, must be rehabilitated, not just as a figment of our imagination, not just as an edifice that houses people who may have fallen on hard times, but rather the system that allows our medical services to extend to those who may be downtrodden. Many hands make the work light, and therefore having institutions that can come together to raise funds for a particular cause, and this is very important, and I think it's a lesson that we need to make sure it permeates right through our society. It's only when we come together that we can actually develop and sustain that economic activity and that well-being of self. I believe that the initiative from the partners and the bank have been thus far very successful. I'm hoping that there is some political will that will allow this initiative to actually become what it's meant to be. This is an effort to form a partnership with our government in the hope that we improve parts of our medical services.
Mental health is, even before COVID-19, one of the areas, not just in Grenada, the region and the world as a whole, that doesn't get the amount of attention that is due. Mental health, substance abuse as well. Carlton Home acts as a refuge for individuals who are suffering from substance abuse. We have been blessed with the fact that Co-op Bank in particular and other private partners have come together to assist us, to assist the nation in reinstating, restoring, rebuilding the Carlton Home. Now, Carlton Home, while it is a physical location, is also the principle or concept of giving assistance to individuals who are suffering from substance abuse. Government's responsibility is multifaceted. It is to, one, find a location, rebuild or relocate Carlton Home, but it is also to continue as best as possible the services and support needed for individuals who have substance abuse challenges. As such, we are most grateful for the assistance and participation of Grenada Co-operative Bank in assisting us in the principle of the Carlton Home, which is those suffering from substance abuse need the continued support. Yes, they need a location, but apart from a location, they need that support from not just the government, but from corporate entities as well, to assist us in giving the care and attention to a sector of our population that are sometimes ignored and not given the due respect and treatment that they deserve. A physical location has been identified. That is in Grenville, next door to the Princess Alice Hospital, the former nurse hostel on that site is the identified site for the new Carlton Home. The government has committed in 2019 actually, we committed to the reconstruction of Carlton Home to finalize the planning and begin the construction of a Carlton Home. Well, government doesn't just have a responsibility, government has an obligation. Government has an obligation in as best as possible dealing with prevention of substance abuse, but also recognizing that substance abuse exists. And those who suffer from or who have challenges of substance abuse need to be given the due respect and the opportunity to deal with the challenges that they are being faced with. And as such, we have to make sure that there is the support system, that counseling is there, that a halfway house like the Carlton Home, that a refuge that the Carlton Home offers, not just for those who are currently suffering from substance abuse, but for those who have been able to kick that habit, so to speak, that there is a place that they can go to and get reassurance, get confirmation that they are on the right track, and also offer support to those who are currently going through what they have gone through previously. As a Minister of Health, I am extremely proud and touched by the contributions and participation of the various corporate entities of the private sector in this initiative. It shows that we have, in many cases, homegrown or regional entities that recognize their need to participate in areas that they choose or they see fit and work hand in hand with the government and not just independent. It's a prime example of good public-private partnership. Well, I think the whole Pump It Up concept is something we should all give support to. One, it is encouraging physical outdoor activity as much as possible under the constraints that we have. Two, it is a public-private partnership with our corporate sponsors who have come together doing their part to help in nation building, so to speak, but also three, and most importantly, while doing all of these things, it is addressing an issue that is sometimes swept under the rug. It is dealing with giving support to those who are vulnerable in our society and who are suffering from substance abuse, whom we need to recognize and give all the support that we can. So get out there, be physical, pump it up, count your steps. Let's look forward to the time when we can get back out on those marathon walks as a community together. But in the meantime, we still need to find the time to give support to the amazing Pump It Up initiative that supports the Carlton Home and also supports substance abuse.
Co-op Bank believes that contributions to the community should be made in areas that are cross-cutting and impactful. In 2008, we introduced a healthier lifestyle program to promote vibrant and physically active lives, encourage a proactive approach to health issues affecting the society, and raise awareness about health matters, making information available to the public. Pump It Up Family Health Walk was the main event emanating from the program, and after 13 years has become a renowned household name island-wide, attracting participation of close to 5,000 persons in Carriacou and Grenada combined. Between 2009 and 2015, we used the Pump It Up brand to raise awareness about different health challenges and selected related charities to benefit from the proceeds of the walk. But in 2016, Co-op Bank decided to focus its charitable efforts on one major sustainable initiative. Recognizing the significant impact of substance abuse on the population, we chose to raise funds towards the re-establishment of the services of the Carlton Home Rehabilitation Center. For the period 2017 to 2021, we are hoping to raise $500,000. Due to the enormity of the fundraising effort, the bank invited corporate citizens with similar core values to join with the bank and the Ministry of Health to raise the necessary funds, $500,000 by 2021. In 2017, Co-op Bank, Cable and Wireless Grenada Limited, now Flow, Jonas Brown and Hubbard Grenada Limited, and Guardian General Insurance OECS Limited signed a Memorandum of Understanding to collaborate towards the re-establishment of the Rehabilitation Center for Substance Abusers under the Pump It Up brand. In the years following, several other corporate bodies showed their interest in this worthy initiative. Antillean Group was welcomed on board as the fourth benefactor in 2018, followed by Koyaba Beach Resort in 2019, then Waggy Tea Rental and Sound Company and Body Image Health Club in 2020. To date, Co-op Bank and its benefactors have raised over EC $324,000, and we are hoping that the contributions of the benefactors and the community during 2021 activities will go a long way to achieve our $500,000 goal. We are this close. At the end of the fundraising period, or when we hit the target of $500,000, these funds will be managed by the trustees and disbursement will be made to the Ministry of Health as the trustees sees fit towards re-establishing and sustaining the services of the Carlton Home. On behalf of the bank, I wish to thank all the benefactors who have come on board and those who will most likely be coming on board in this final push. I also want to thank the general public for the support for the Pump It Up Family Fun Walk over the last 13 years. Thank you, Grenada.